Good morning. Oh, it's afternoon. Never mind. It's 5 minutes to 1. Going to get this hair did. When I said yesterday we took John to birthday dinner, y'all see that video. I got a bunch of peppermint. When I said, oh, I'm going to get this, I said, look at all this gray. We were leaving. I said, look at all this gray. I'm going to get my hair done tomorrow. And Ashley said, I'm going Thursday. And Rhett said, Gan. I said, what? And he said, make it blonde again. They don't want Gan to change at all. They like her just the way she is. When I said something one day to him, I said, I've got to lose weight. And he said, not a lot. Not a lot. And I said, why? You don't want Gan to change? He said, no, don't lose a lot of weight. So, I can't talk with this peppermint. I was kind of having a little sinking feeling. I'm gonna go by and get me some chicken salad from one of our little shops up here. Good morning. Good afternoon. Now I got sticky fingers. Well, I have answered almost all your comments. 2 of y'all asked me about some music that I did on one of the videos, and I've got to look back. I'm not answering you on purpose. I've got to look back. I subscribe to the Music Epidemic Sound every month, and that's where I get all my copyright-free music from. So it's somewhere in there. So as soon as I can think to look for it, I will. But I answered all your other comments that were out there this morning. I woke up with a splitting headache right over this right eye where I usually have it. This whole side of my face feels numb, and it's, you know, it's part of the journey, but God is seeing me through. The sun is shining, and it's 84 degrees. I have on a Christmas t-shirt because I like a Henley or, you know, 3/4 length style t-shirt, and it's gonna be 84. But there is a cold front coming in this weekend, so there is a tropical storm coming into the Gulf, hence the temperature is dropping, hence. So I'm just struggling right now, but so many of you said I pray for you all the time, and I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't feel worthy of all those prayers and all the attention y'all give me, but we're family. I have never felt that more than this past week, and the outpouring of love for Amy and for Sue and Ashley. I said to y'all in one of the other videos the other day, I understand now, because I have felt so connected. Amy and I have always been connected, but I just want to fix it for her. And of course we know we can't fix it for her. It's a journey that you have to walk really by yourself with the Lord, of course. And then what Ashley and Sue are going through, and their family. I told her I'd love to go to New York and just take care of them for the next, you know, here I am so healthy. But listen, if I had a mission in front of me like that to do, I could do it. I would crash when I got back home. But I would like to just go up there and take care of them, do their laundry, do their cleaning, have supper for them, go on walks with them, share the Lord, you know, pray, spend quality, watch movies, watch Christmas movies. That's the way you feel about somebody when you really care about them. And I know that we've never met. This has just ripped so many of our hearts out, and you can't imagine the pain that they're going through. But the Lord impressed me a little while ago when I was getting ready to share. I don't think I have, but to share my story about Daddy and about the night that he died. I'm going to be doing a video about what happened to me that night. And if I've shared it, I've got so many new subscribers that have come in, it would have been a long time ago. But I've just been thinking about, while getting ready this morning, how that grief is such a personal journey that you have to go on. And what I told Amy is, and I mentioned to y'all, about 6 weeks down the road, is when it really hit me that my daddy and my sissy was gone. Your body does a certain amount of protecting you. It puts you in fight mode when tragedy happens. And look, guys, I know I've been through several tragedies, and it puts you in fight or flight mode, but mostly fight mode. So your body has a way of protecting you a lot, but then eventually your body starts coming back down. So that's the reason it's so important to have the Lord when you're going through. And in my grief before, I have shut the Lord out. And I know I have, and I've had to repent of that because I was so hurt that I couldn't even comprehend the hurt. But all the way through the way, He was there with me. And when you go through great tragedy and sorrow, I think He understands. Because, you know, I told y'all the other day, I'm a shutdown girl. I'm a shutdown girl. And I wished I would lay at the feet of Jesus when something bad happens. But sometimes I shut down because I told you before, it's a coping mechanism for me. Not a good one, but a coping mechanism. But grief is weird. Grief never goes away. It only changes through the years. And I'm not saying that to be pessimistic. I'm saying that to be a realist. One of you, I'm going to turn in here to the bank. Hold on just a minute. Well, I forgot to go by the school and votes. I got to go back by the school. One of you said this morning, and I thought it was just profound, or just, it really hit me in a spot. You said your mother had died in August, and the world hadn't been right since then. Yeah, that's true. I thought, yeah, she's right. See, when God brings us into this world, a family, and close friends, relatives, but when we have those special people in our lives, I told Amy yesterday she didn't have a good day, and I said, babe, you're not going to have all good days. Amy likes to be up, so it's going to be hard for her to be down. She's going to fight it with everything in her, but she's got to realize it's going to happen. But there is no love. If you have a natural relationship, there is no love closer to God's love than the love of a mother. I truly believe that. And one of you had said that your mother had died in August and the world hadn't been right. And I sat there and I said, yeah. My sissy's been gone 12 years now, and the world hasn't been right since she left. Look, you see how grief is? 12 years, and I say that the world hadn't been right since my sissy left, and I tear up. You see? That's because our love, she was almost like another mother, but she was the best big sister, and she was so imperfect. So many things that she did wrong, but she had a love for me that was, nobody will ever love me like that again. I know as much as John loves me, he doesn't love me in the same way that Sissy did. It was just a very unique, precious, precious, precious love. So grief, 12 years, y'all. And I say that the world hasn't been right since then, and I tear up. So that's the way grief does you. Do we have to go on and live? Yes. Do we have to have joy again? Yes, and it's okay to have joy again. Does it take a while to get there? Oh, yes. Are there going to be days when you hit rock bottom? Oh, yes. As I've told y'all, I've lost my daddy, my sister, and my brother. And all three of them have been tragic. Not in a natural way of dying. Among other things that's happened in my life. But there is always reason to live. Every day that God gives me to live, I am blessed. It went break. Hey, I love you. I never get to tell you that anymore.
I don't even see you. I mean, you sit back there in Timbuktu Don't ever come to the youth section. You know where we are.
I know.
I mean, you got free time now. You should be a youth leader already. So come on. See? Throwing out opposition. Opportunity.
Opposition, yeah. Well, spent more time in there than I planned on it. One of my friends from high school, she was a year younger than me. I said, well, everybody knows I'm here. She's crazy. She's always been crazy. I love her to death. Oh, man. She was telling me she sits, she does sitting with a lady that used to be a teacher, and her kids went to school with us. She sits with her just right across what we call a holler here in Alabama. She sits with a lady over there, and she was asking me all about Mother. And then just, you know, see a lot of people that I know in there. I'm barely gonna have time to get me some chicken salad. I wanted to get me one of the teas too, but I'm gonna go do it, because if I don't, I will be sinking, because I ate very little this morning. I'm trying to do the intermittent fasting in the morning, and it's working pretty good. And then when I do eat, I'm eating very little, so I'm letting, but I think it was, what time? I forgot my earrings. What time was it this morning? 10:30, 11, something like that. And so we had supper an early dinner last night when we took John out, and I didn't eat anything else after we got home. We ate like at 4. We ate at 4 o'clock, and I had tilapia and cabbage and some rutabagas. That's the only place I'll ever eat rutabagas, because they stink so bad when you cook them. So we're voting. We voted for Democratic or Republican gubernatorial races. A couple of senators, we didn't have any of the big spots that they're going to be watching tonight. God, just be with our elections and let it be counted fairly and done fairly. That's all I ask. Even if who I want does not win, all I ask is for it to be done right and fair. Because y'all can believe what you want to. You may get mad at me for saying this. I don't believe that it was done fairly last time. I do not believe it. There was too many shenanigans, and there's been too much stuff proved. And that's the thing. You know, I've told y'all before, there have been presidents that I didn't vote for, but when they got it, they got it. They were my president, and I had to respect that position. That's all I want, is for it to be done fairly. I think that's all any of us ask for. Yeah, you have it in your mind who you want and who you think will be the best leader, but let the people speak. Let the people speak. And if you think the people spoke last time, that's yours. You know, it's just like a lot of other things we're not going to agree on. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but that's mine. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, I'm going to stop here and get some homemade chicken salad. She puts very little, she uses a lot of pickled juice, very little mayonnaise. So let's go get us some chicken salad. Okay. Almost to my beauty shop appointment, but I'll sit out there for a few minutes and eat. We were talking about grief, though. Grief is a weird creature, and it sneaks up on you when you're least expecting it. And it's something that we have to go through. And it's hard. It's not easy, and I don't think people should ever feel obligated to be one way or the other. People sometimes expect you to get over your grief too soon. They're like, well, she should be better by now. Well, how do you know that? How do you know when's the right time? You don't. And until you walk it, you're not gonna know. So I stayed in very difficult grief for too long with Sissy. And I wouldn't want anybody to suffer as much as I did through that. Maybe that's why I have such compassion. And I'm sure it is. This is good. I don't like to eat on here. That's good though. I'm not a big mayonnaise eater, so I can't even hardly taste the mayonnaise in this. And that's a good thing for me. I asked her one day, I said, yours is moist, but it's not real mayonnaise-y. She said she uses juice. I think she might use a little, some people use a little bit of sour cream in theirs. I don't know if she does. I can't taste that. But I don't like to eat on here and talk. Why don't I just come back after I get my hair did? We'll get her to cut a little bit of the length off because it's so bulky back here, but pretty much just the same. So I'll see you in a little bit. I'm back. Oh, she went a little shorter than I wanted in the back, but it'll be okay. It's probably gonna look better when I do it. I mean, it looks good. I like it right now, but she went shorter in the back than what I really thought. You can still see there's a lot of hair back there, and I think I can curl it up a little bit, but it feels better. It's gotten some of the thickness. She thinned it out and got some of the bulk out of it. So what do you think? Can't see the back. It's longer in the front, shorter in the back. So it'll look better. I think it'll look more balanced and still leave some of the long in there. It's just you get used to seeing yourself a certain way, and then you leave the beauty shop and you're like, ah, you know. But yeah, I think it's gonna look, actually, I think it's gonna look neater because it had gotten so bulky at the back. There was a lady there, a friend of mine, she's a year older than me, from church. And she was like, by the time I got through, she said, I hate you, I hate you. And I said, like, what? She said, your hair is so thick. Her hair is so thin. And I said, well, I said, it gets big instead of long. And she said, she asked her, she said, can we take some of her hair off the floor? Because she cut a ton of hair off of me today. And she said, can we take some of that off the floor and put on my head? I wish y'all could see it, but you can see it's shorter in the back, and it kind of does a little, like a little neckline where it was just long and bulky. So I think I like it. I hope I like it. And it'll grow. If it's not exactly what I want, it'll grow. So, what do you think? What do you think? Let me know. I'll get John to show you the back when I get home.